Hey, hi everybody, it's Tim. We're here in Singapore, Changi Airport, and Singapore is perhaps one of the safest places in the world, certainly very well organized. On my way to support a client event in Bali, and we just went through the checkpoint. There's 4 people manning a radar scan, a temperature scan, so it's very safe. And I just want to mention something about managing fear. There's certainly a lot of opportunities to tap into fear and to feel fear with regards to what's going around in the coronavirus. So, everything in life is a scenario. We're constantly running a scenario for a difficult conversation we have with someone at work or at home. What are they going to say? What am I going to say? How do we want to respond? What are we going to do to that? Maybe a work or a client related thing. You're having running a story, a scenario. So that's nothing but a picture and a story. And fear is the same thing. It's a story, it's a narrative that we're telling ourselves and we're running through our mind. And it's about a future situation that hasn't even occurred yet. So there's a couple of things that I've learned that have been helpful around fear. One is that the acronym, it's FEAR. False evidence appearing real. There is no evidence in the future of what's going to come. There's certainly studies and evidence and facts. So to be aware of that is important, but to go into the future doesn't help us at all. It doesn't create any sense of empowerment. We've all heard that when emotions get high, intelligence goes low. So when I'm having in my fear-based scenario, that affects me in a couple of ways. I become anxious and nervous emotionally, so I'm emotionally shut down, unresourceful. Physically, I'm unable to perform and do the actions. So when emotions get high, intelligence goes low. Compacted with that, with a couple of my belief systems, or maybe some expectation about what's going to happen. Belief systems could be social, religious, and other things that we all grown up with around a certain situation. And all that can combine and compact to lock me into a state of disempowered, trapped in my fear. So what can I do about that? How do I manage fears? Number one is notice my response. What do I see and say to the things that I'm reading and seeing in the news? And what do I share with that? Do I share that news because that's just a reaction to the fear? And in that sense, I'm participating in growing that fear. So I can choose my response. Do I choose to be fear, or do I choose to stay in the present moment? So choose to be informed, but also to be a little bit more compassionate to perhaps the people at the epicenter of this. Things to be said and done in the future, but I don't think it's about any one person, about any, the leadership in China, the management of information. Is certainly people are pointing at that, but I think it's more a nature of the system than any particular person. So instead of being fearful, choose to be compassionate. Compassionate for people that are in a system that has its limitations and does not allow the freedom of speech that would allow this thing to have been escalated and embraced, and then for the correct action to be taken. So practice some compassion. Practice compassion for yourself and for those around you. Be careful, be prepared, but also be compassionate. Everyone is in this situation. How can I be a little more kind to others? And of course, on a practical level, take care of what you need to with washing hands, face mask, and everything else. This is what I travel with. Everybody says just wash your hands all the time. So be attentive, but not compulsive. And when I'm protecting myself and being mindful, then I'm less fearful. Then I feel I'm in control. So do what you can. Be mindful of that. And be prepared. And then that fear diminishes with information. Share the information with your loved ones. Take care of that, and my fear diminishes. The other thing is, what is your practice of mindfulness, meditation? When I practice mindfulness, can choose to be only in this present moment. In this present moment, there is no past or future, so there is no fear. And those of you that, have a mindfulness practice or a meditation practice, we know this, not, logically, it's not an information, it's an experience that we know. And when I do that I feel more prepared, I feel more ready, I feel less fear. And one thing I've also introduced into my mindfulness or meditation is to visualize a pink bubble of light that is a protection for myself, for my family, for Singapore, for the community. And we can expand that bubble of protective light around Singapore, around Asia, around China. And it sounds funny and hokey. I know, I don't care. Platform or other kind of platforms. And then that's causing that to expand. What you focus on expands. Instead, choose to focus on kindness, focus on gratefulness, focus on present moment awareness. So those are just a couple of thoughts. Kindness, choose gratitude. Whatever spiritual practice you're doing is an opportunity to increase that. Take care of yourself through exercise, mindfulness, eating well, and all that. Take care of your family. Practice kindness and compassion. Choose loving compassion and kindness over fear. Thanks for watching. Take care. And I've also created, my wife has written a nice essay around managing fear, and I've created a little visual here to support some of those thoughts that I've just shared with you, and I'll link that into this video or on our Facebook. All right, take care. We're off to support our client. Be well, everybody. With love.